Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our second session in our webinar series. It's brought to you by Drive to Inspire Africa and University of Zambia Debate and Speech Society. My name is Wadem, and I lead research and content here at Drive to Inspire Africa. Our session today is titled The Pursuit of Growth, which will explore how you as students and then eventually as early career professionals can build resilience as you pursue growth in different facets of your life. And then it will be led by Dr. Gladys Setordzie, a clinical psychologist, a psychometrist, and a senior counselor at the University of Ghana. Welcome everyone and enjoy the session. Over to you, Dr. Setordzie. Can you hear me?
Unmute me, please. Please unmute me. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Dr. Setordzie, you can speak, please. You've been unmuted.
Okay, thank you. Please, can you hear me?
And yes, can you please turn your camera on? We can't see
you. My camera is actually on. Okay, please hold on for a second.
Okay.
I think I can't see.
Okay, yes, we can see you now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. So I'm looking for the icon to share my slides. Okay. I'm trying to share my slide. Fafa, please come. Please, can you see my slides?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So we are looking at the pursuit of growth today, and I will be taking you through that. So I want us to start by self-profiling ourselves. I don't want to call it statistics. Once the statistics, we are inclined to take ourselves out of it. But when we say self-profiling, then we are inclined to see ourselves in the data that is being presented. So in a study done in 2022 by Komoraju and Nadler, they found that over 1,000 university students lack what we call self-efficacy and believe in one's ability to do something. And that the top predictor of academic withdrawal and poor performance, the lack of self-belief, the lack of myself. I did a recent study in career decision-making, and I looked at career beliefs, and the research was very revealing. Most of the time, we have the potential, we have the ability, but just because we doubt our capacity, our beliefs in ourselves, it affects what we can do. So the study was saying that lack of self-belief was the top predictor of academic withdrawal and poor performance. Students who lacked self-belief were 2 times more likely to drop out of the program. They were more likely to delay assignments and less likely to seek help or mentorship. And then in another study at the University of Bath in the UK, indicated that fear of failure was linked to avoidance behavior, such as not applying for jobs, skipping exams, or not starting a business at all. And so from the statistics, we realize that most young people are inclined to be afraid, and more so in their own capacity and their own abilities. Okay. So then I would want to ask a very simple question, and I would want us to see ourselves in the slide I've produced right now, that your own psychological well-being, when you self-profile yourself and your conceptualization of the world in terms of your career, in terms of your psychological well-being, in terms of your studies and everything, do you think you are currently in crisis? Are you struggling? Are you surviving? Are you thriving, or are you excelling? When you look at yourself in the bigger scheme of work, how are you doing? Are you believing in yourself, or are you pulling yourself down, or you have a lot of self-doubt? If you are in crisis or you are struggling, it's okay, but it means that you are in need of some form of support, some form of counseling. And I will encourage you to visit the school's counseling department or unit or center for some counseling support because of the situation you might find yourself. My reflection question for all of us is, what does growth mean to you right now? In your studies, in your career, in your personal life, what does growth mean to you? And I would want you to spend a few seconds to look at it. What does growth mean to you? What does growth mean to you? Okay. So let me define in my own definition what growth is. Growth is the ongoing process of learning from experiences, embracing change, and evolving emotionally, mentally, socially, and even when progress feels slow or uncertain. When things feel slow or uncertain, that is not the time for us to quit or the time for us to give up. But the ability to persevere in the face of challenges, and when the odds are against us, our belief to still move on, our belief to still make progress, even if it's baby steps, still pushing through, then we say that we are making progress or we are growing. So I want to give us a scenario so that we all assess the scenario and make our inputs. So Kwame is a 23, graduated with big dreams. We all graduate with big dreams. He had interned, volunteered, and expected a job quickly. But 6 months in all he had were rejection emails, Social media success story from friends and constant pressure at home left him feeling stuck and defeated. Doubt crept in. Am I being left behind? What if I'm not good enough? Is this really how adulthood begins? I don't know, but I would want to think that perhaps we've felt this way before. Normally, transitioning come with some of these psychological and emotional challenges. Okay. Transitioning also come with some of this psychological or emotional challenges. But before I go on, I would want to find out from us whether any of us have or has felt this way before. Hello. Please, can you hear me? Or I should mention names. Okay. We've all felt the pressure to succeed quickly with family expectations from us. So I want us to just tell me what emotions could Kwame be experiencing right now? Yes.
Anxiety.
Anxiety, thank you. What else? What emotions is Kwame going through right now? Yes, Sheila, what emotions is Kwame going through right now? There is anxiety, yes.
He could be depressed.
He could be depressed, yes. Who else? Okay, let me.
Hi, you can type the answers in the chat box.
That would be wonderful.
Yes.
Because I want it to be as interactive as possible.
Yes.
So, okay. Mulenga, yes. Will you share with us some of the emotions that Kwame could be experiencing right now? Kwame did everything right in his own assessment. He went on internship, he volunteered, and he did all the things he needed to do. So he was also expecting that right after school, he will get a job quickly. But 6 months into it, rejection emails, he goes on social media, see his friends celebrating and looking big. And at home, his parents asking him, hey, what's going on? Seems things are keeping too long. When are you getting a job? Even when he wants to cut a piece of bread, the side eye he receives. What do you think could be the emotions Kwame could be going through right now? Yes, Mulenga. Hello.
Hello. University of Zambia.
Yes.
Mulenga, are you on?
Hello. Yes, I am. He's feeling depressed and angry at life, and he's feeling like all of that work was for nothing.
Good. Well, thank you for your answers. He's frustrated, he feels shame, there is fear, there is anxiety, there is envy, there is self-doubt. And it's okay. Emotions in themselves are not bad. Emotions in themselves are information to us. And so as psychologists, I believe in acknowledging our emotions and then regulating them. We can't control emotions because they are automatic. They come without we realizing them sometimes, but we can manage its impact on our behavior and regulate how much of it we feel. So indeed, Kwame is going through all of these emotions at this particular point in time. And he's going through what we would call emotional dissonance. On the surface, he might look okay, but deep within, he's feeling something utterly different from how he looks. And so it is normal that sometimes our expectation is that things will go smoothly for us. Even in our academics, we expect that, oh, we will study and we will pass with ease and all of that because our seniors before us told us that course is easy, only for us to get in there and realize it's not as easy as we thought it would be. And sometimes we are inclined to give up. No. We may conceptualize, or the lenses with which we look at life, we are inclined to think that it's going to be a very straight course. But sometimes the reality is that it is not that straight. You have to go through some bumps here and there, and in the process, you are building stamina and stability so that when you take off in a grand style. So when we are going through the challenges and the difficulties, that is not the time for us to give up, but that is the time for us to have a belief in ourselves that this we can do. It's important we do that. So what emotions do you think Kwame is feeling? We've answered that. And what's one expectation, internal or external, that has been weighing on you? I just want you to take a pen and a paper or a book and list this down. I'm doing this because I want you to become self-aware of whatever might be troubling you. Most of the time, we are unconscious of what is troubling us. And even though it's unconscious, it still impacts us. And we don't understand why we behave the way we do. It's because we are just not aware of the internal and external psychological processes that are going on. And that is to say, we are not self-aware. So what one expectation, it could be internal or external, that has been weighing on you? And where do you think this expectation comes from? Is it from family, school, social media, or yourself? I just want you to write it down so that after this, you can have a reflection on it and help you to adjust properly and see clearly your way forward. Normally, when we are going through transition, we go through a lot of emotions and psychological up and down. We go through what we call the imposter syndrome. Like Kwame, you are tempted to wonder, did I really achieve these grades? Did I really do well? How come you start with self-doubt, fear of failure, or you start judging yourself, especially when you see your friends on social media or your friends you started with who have taken off, some of them, they've taken off and doing much better. You are inclined to think, are you behind or are you late? When you see the pictures they are posting on social media and all of that, that should not affect your perception. Remember that people bring out the nice things on social media, but the difficult ones and their failures, they don't share. And so don't be alarmed, confused by what you see on social media, because it would not, or it's likely not to be the real thing. So social comparison fatigue, maybe your parents or your siblings or family, perhaps comparing you even with other people your age and telling you, look at their achievement and all. And that ends up putting a lot of pressure on you, and you just don't know how to meet the expectations. And that in itself become like a barrier towards your progress. This afternoon, I want us to look at things from a positive perspective and also see that in the process of growth, we face challenges. But the fact that we face challenges doesn't mean we should abandon the dream. And I want you to be aware of the challenges that are likely or you are likely to encounter, so that when you encounter them, it doesn't look strange. You just normalize them and still build tenacity, resilience, strength to overcome them. So the key elements of growth, some elements of growth, is understanding your strengths. In psychology, we don't say weaknesses, we say areas for development. What are your strengths? What are your abilities? What are your aptitudes? What interest do you have? What are your values? What are the triggers of your emotions and the patterns? It's important we are self-aware, because emotional intelligence is even talking about self-awareness, being aware of yourself. I remember when I came to University of Ghana, to read law. And at the time, after first year, you are given the opportunity, if you make a grade point of 3.0, you are given the opportunity to 3.3, yes, you are given the opportunity to go to business school or the school of law. And at the time, most of my friends were going to business school and the law school. And I was just wondering, I really came in to read law, but I realized that no, the personality in which I have, I am not a lawyer. The ability to debate and push and talk, and I don't just have that personality for that subject, for that course. So I thought of, okay, why not to do business school? And then when I critically assess my strength and my abilities, I also realized that no, I don't have the aptitude for math, for figures. And so going to business school to do whether accounting or banking or finance in itself might pose a challenge for me. And so I had to look at it critically, devoid of emotions, being objective, reality check. Look, this is my situation. This is who I am. And these are my strengths. These are my abilities. And so with this, what can I really do? Considering my personality, I am very empathetic, and I can easily assume other people's position, and I stick to my values a lot. And so with these two, I told myself that, look, I will pursue a career in psychology. Then I looked at also the occupational trends and what is going on in the world. And I felt that stress was increasing every now and then. And it will get to a point more and more people will need someone to talk to. And I felt going to psychology would help me and make a career in that field. When I told my daddy at the time I want to go into psychology, he was wondering, so are you just going to read other people's mind? He asked. And I told him, no, the psychologists don't read people's mind. We help people in totality. And so it happened that I could choose psychology because I had a conversation with myself. At the time, I didn't even know the school counselor could help me sort out these challenges. But I just sat down and had a conversation with myself, looking at my abilities, looking at my interest, looking at my strength, my values. And then I decided to make this choice. So it's important we are self-aware. We don't follow friends, we don't follow family trends to do some of these things, because there are two important decisions every young person is going to make. And if you don't get it right, you don't end up starting on the right foot in life. And that in itself can be very challenging. And those two important decisions are your career and who you decide to marry. And so career is a subcomponent of life. When they ask you, what do you do? Your first answer would be your name. The second most probable answer is going to be what you do. I am a student studying this, or I am a psychologist with the University of Ghana. So career is a subcomponent of life, and it is something you take with all the seriousness and putting all the effort you need to put in. A recent study of mine indicated that most university students do not plan for their careers. And so when they are hit by challenges and the odds come against them, they quickly give up because they didn't have any plan anyway. And so I would want you to leave this meeting with a plan. Probably a 5-year developmental personal plan. Where are you going with your life in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, in the next 4 years, in the next 5 years? Where do you want to see yourself? And month after month, let it count towards this ultimate goal. It's important we have a plan. Now, resilience. Bouncing back from challenges with lessons learned. Most of the time we go through challenges and we refuse to learn the lessons. And that life is also like going to school. I tell you the truth, if you don't pass class 1, you will be forced to repeat class 1 because the lessons in class 1, you've not learned them. And so when you see challenges, ask yourself, what are the lessons I need to learn from this, including our mistakes? Because there are certain lessons, it is the pain of the outcome that pushes you to learn the lesson. And if you don't learn the lesson, you are inclined to repeat the mistake again. Purpose-driven effort, setting goals that aligns with your personal meaning. In psychology, we'll say existentiality, existential questions. Why are you existing? And what meaning do you want to give to life through your career and through living itself? So set goals that achieving them will bring you some fulfillment in life. It's important. And then our vulnerabilities. Being honest with yourself and others about your struggles and your limitations. It doesn't mean you are weak. It doesn't mean you don't have a center. It only means you are self-aware. You know what is troubling you at what particular point in time, and you are ready to get the necessary resources to help you navigate life. So be honest with yourself. I told you I looked at myself and I said, no, by my makeup, I'm not a good debater. I'm not someone who would want to give and take kind of conversation. And when I look at my ability to, I don't have the aptitude for math. People even get surprised that I went into psychometry. I don't have the aptitude for math. And so I have to be honest with myself. And that is a very important discussion with yourself, admitting your vulnerabilities and where you need help and where you are struggling. And so that if there is any help to be given to you to make up for the struggles and the difficulties, you do. It's progress. It's not perfection. It's excellence and not perfection. We are going and we are making progress. We want to grow. We want to see ourselves in excellent, doing well, having excellent grades and all. But that does not mean also that we should be perfect. That means show yourself some self-compassion. When things do not go too well, be kind to yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself to the point that it pushes you to being depressed or being anxious and not making meaningful progress. So be self-compassionate. Make progress. Go on to being excellent. But being perfect, because of our human nature, that makes it difficult sometimes. And we end up not helping ourselves. Now, manage stress. Sometimes the mindset in which we have, the tension we have, all affect our well-being. I've talked a lot about emotions already and how our emotions can affect us so much to the point that we cease to make progress. So it's important we manage stress. How do you manage stress? You manage stress by sleeping well. Most of the time as students or as young workers, we spend most of our time sometimes on things that may not be necessarily helpful to us. We spend the time watching Arsenal and Chelsea. I'm not saying it's not good, but what I'm saying is that what is your business with Arsenal and Chelsea for 2 hours when you have an exam the following morning and you don't study? So we have to manage our time very well. We have to sleep well. In time management, I normally will tell my students that rule 4 lines. One is urgent and important. The other is urgent, not important. The other is important, not urgent. The other is not important, not urgent. And then now put the things you need to do under those 4 subheadings. Most of the time, by the time we are done, they realize that, look, they spend time on the minors when the majors are rather there that must be taken care of. But because they are not planning well, they are unable to see what is important at any particular point in time. Manage stress by exercises. When we exercise, we release dopamine into our system, and dopamine is responsible for reward. And so it gives us a sense of achievement and it affects our mood positively. Also, manage stress by your diet, what you eat. Excessive caffeine and excessive sugar do not also help very much. And so it's important that we take note of all of that so that it doesn't affect us. Managing our food, what we take in, is very, very important. How do we manage stress? We manage stress by our social network. Make friends with people who encourage you, not people who will put you down, not people who will look down on you, not people who will criticize and judge you, but people who will encourage you, people who will push you on, people who will cheer you on. Remind yourself of these, the habits we form. Most young people, we want to experiment with everything, including drugs. But the thing about drugs, especially marijuana, is because our brain is developing, especially the prefrontal aspect of our brain, because that is responsible for planning, decision-making, and executive functioning, it ceases to grow when we experiment with drugs. And so by the time we realize our decision-making is very poor, and it's because we experimented with drugs. And so as much as possible, try as much as you can to use your body itself to take care of itself, rather than putting external things into your body. And so one of the things I would want us to do is, I want you to look for a very comfortable place and sit wherever you are. Make sure you are comfortable, and let us take this exercise together just to help you manage your stress, manage anxiety, and manage your thoughts, so that you tell your body not to release all the bad hormones into your system, but rather to regulate yourself and how you feel. So are we all in a very comfortable position? Hello?
Yes, we are. We are right. University of Zambia. If you are, just respond in the chat box so we can see.
So that we will know you are comfortable wherever you are.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let me play the video now. Breathe in. Okay. Please, did you hear when the video played, please, were you able to hear?
No, we can't hear Dr. Setordzie.
Oh. Please, can you hear?
No, we cannot.
Oh. But it's playing so loud here. Okay. So what I want you to do is to breathe in. Let's go. Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. Okay, let's go again. Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. Okay, now think of what emotion you are feeling right now. Breathe in, hold, and out. Wonderful. Let's go again. Breathe in, hold, and out. Now name the emotion you are feeling. Is it anger? Is it frustration? Is it fear? Whatever emotion you are feeling, it's okay. Just name the emotion. Let's go. Breathe in, hold, and out. Wonderful. Now slowly and gently open your eyes. What we did right now is to move the body from hyperarousal to calm. We are learning to teach our body and our minds to calm down and focus. Okay. Thank you. So how did we feel? How did you feel? Can anyone share their experience with us? Can anyone share their experience with us when you did the breathing?
You can raise your hand to speak or just put your answers in the chat box.
Yes. How did you feel? Those of us who were able to do the experiment, how did you feel afterwards? Hello? Okay.
Okay, Sertordzie, there are some responses in the chat box. Chela says, I feel more clear-headed.
Okay.
And then Wendy says she feels relieved.
Okay. So I would.
There's one more. Let me just check the name. She says she feels calm.
Okay. Good. So the whole idea is to get you to calm down, send some oxygen into your brain, then you can focus properly. Then you can think clearly so you can make good decisions and manage stress well. So I will encourage you to be doing this. And then also 30 to 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour before you fall asleep, as much as you can, do not use the phone. The phone has the green light, the blue lights that triggers the brain. And so if you are on phone a few minutes before falling asleep, you end up struggling to fall asleep. So that you allow the brain to follow, to regenerate itself before you fall asleep. I would want to encourage you that growth is not a straight line like we saw. It's not like achieving everything so quickly. And so sometimes when we are slowed down, it's okay. It's also part of growth. Growth is not always hearty go, hearty come. It's not always happiness. There are times we feel inadequate. It's still okay. Keep going. Growth is not a comparison of yourself with other people, so that when other people are not doing well and you are doing well, that means you are good. No. You set your own standard and you compare yourself to yourself. When Thomas Edison in 1979 invented the electric bulb. And he said, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that don't work, that won't work. He attempted several times, but he didn't see them as failures. He said he saw other means that do not work. And so the fact that he failed did not prevent him from still moving on and keep trying. And so in our pursuit of growth, Trying again after failing, it's okay. Asking for help doesn't mean you are weak, it's a sign of strength. Learning from your discomfort is okay. Taking small, courageous steps is worth it. So don't feel discouraged. Don't feel you are inadequate just because something did not go well. Keep pushing, keep moving, being disciplined at what you do, keep reading, keep getting better, keep doing the things that need to be done. Because there is the saying that 10,000 hours in any one craft, you will become a master in that craft. How many hours are you willing to dedicate into reading something, into doing something, into getting better, and not only on social media, blowing away precious time and precious data, by using the time to learn something new and get better at it. I want to say that progress is not measured only by giant leaps, but also by the courage to take small steps daily. Be kind to yourself. You are growing even when it doesn't feel like it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Setordzie. We are grateful for your time and the knowledge shared. We'll take some questions from the students. So, University of Zambia, the floor is open for questions. Please, you can raise your hands to ask the questions. You can also put it in the chat box, but we encourage you to ask Dr. Setordzie directly as she's here.
Hello, University of Zambia.
Hello. Anyone at all can ask a question.
Please, you can ask questions.
Wendy, Etheldreda, Chela, Jacques, you can ask questions. So Mutale's hand is up.
Okay, Mutala, I'm here. Mutali.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Am I audible? Okay, I'll go ahead and ask my question. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the amazing presentation. I'm really being inspired and assisted by these sessions that we've been having. So my name is Mutale. I am from Zambia. I'm a former student at the University of Zambia, so I'm kind of diving in here illegally, but so I'm a mid-career professional.
Okay.
And I've been out of work for a little bit, but yes, I've been pursuing a few things. My question is, what are some of the, I don't know if I can say tips or tricks or techniques or insights that you can share in dealing with post-failure anxiety when you're faced with a new opportunity of the same nature? So say, for example, if you've had past interviews that haven't been successful and you're now faced with a new interview, you know, there's always that a past experience that you have going. Quite all right, you can prepare and you're looking, but when you have a trail, especially consistently, of interviews that have not ended with an offer, or you haven't made it to the next stages, there is that yeah, I'm not sure what I can describe as that emotion or thought process. I think you being a psychologist, you understand it better. So what are some of the insights that you could perhaps offer in overcoming that, so that it doesn't become a self-fulfilling prophecy of another result of the same kind? Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mutali, for that good question. That's a good question. And because our experiences also trigger the emotions that we go through. So it is just normal to feel that because you failed and faced rejection several times, the subsequent ones will also go the same. But one of the things you can help yourself to do is to understand that some of the times the decisions are not necessarily personal. It could be that they are looking for something you do not have. It doesn't mean that there is something wrong with you. If you start seeing the rejection as a result of something not being right with you, psychologically, it will even affect your performance moving forward. But when you conceptualize the problem in such a way that, okay, I didn't do well, what could I learn from this? What could I have done better? How do I build my CV better? How do I attend interviews? How do I get better at doing some of these things? Is it a job experience they were looking for that I didn't have? If you conceptualize and look at it from that perspective, it really helps. The next thing I want you also to do is also your thought processes and thinking patterns around the not being successful. The fact that you are not successful the first time doesn't mean that you will not be successful again. I have a friend, I took his permission because I told him I'll be sharing his story with my students sometimes, and he gave me the permission to. He's a professor at the University of Reading now. But when we finished school, he applied to 40 different schools outside of Ghana for scholarship. Only one out of 40 applications, it's only one university that gave him the scholarship. Can you imagine if he has stopped at the 29th application or the 30th application or gotten frustrated on the way? What I'm trying to say is your feelings and your anxiety, they are really real. It's normal to feel the way you feel. But I also don't want you to personalize it, that it is because it is you. There is something wrong with you as a person. That is why you are not doing well. There is nothing wrong with you. It means that you have to build some skills. It means that you have to maybe learn how to answer interview questions and all of that. And as you get better and better, you'll be surprised something good will come out. Another thing I would want to talk about is volunteering. Sometimes organizations would want to employ people who are already doing something. And so you could volunteer in another company, and by just volunteering and doing something, the other company may find you attractive also. So these are some of the dynamics or the plans you can put in place to deal with some of the anxiety that are likely to come as a result of this. Look at your thoughts. Don't personalize things too much. See it as an opportunity to learn something. See it that it is not you as a person. That is why you are not getting the offer. But see it as an opportunity to learn, pick a skill or two, up your game a bit here and there, and then you will be surprised. the lessons you've acquired throughout the failed ones become a means of empowering you into getting the next one. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Setordzie. We have a question from Sertordzie. She wants to know how can I deal with constant restlessness and frustration from indiscipline?
Okay. So it could also be as a result of procrastination. I don't know whether you procrastinate a lot or is as a result of anxiety. Anxiety also leads to making us very restless. And if it is the anxiety that is triggering this kind of experience, then you may have to take a look at a few things. Number one, I mentioned your caffeine intake. In coffee stimulators. So if you take anything with caffeine in it, when you already have a challenge with restlessness, you become more anxious, more alert, and yet you can't concentrate or assimilate any information at all. So one of the things you would have to do is to, number one, look at your itinerary very well. Number two, work on your caffeine and sugar intake. Number three, planning your time. Number four, having a routine in your schedule. Once you have a routine in your schedule and you keep achieving in the day, it helps you to build some form of confidence in yourself. Oh, today, when I wake up in the morning, I will do this. After this, I will do this. When you are even able to achieve a few things on your to-do list, it gives you some confidence that you are making progress, and it helps you build on the confidence, on the confidence. And so if you're having challenges with restlessness, I will encourage you to take a break. Look at your triggers. What are the things in the environment that trigger you, that you are not prepared for, that unsettles you? Have you encountered anything traumatic in recent times? All these things have a way of impacting our psychological well-being. And so take a stock of what is going on within you and within your environment, and then now re-strategizing. Make time for enough sleep, because when we don't sleep well, we become restless as well. So make time for enough sleep, reduce your sugar intake, have a routine in the way you organize your day or the way you organize your to-do list. And then the breathing exercises we did right now helps a lot when it comes to managing anxiety, worry, and fear. So what you will do is that you do it in the morning. During lunchtime, you look for somewhere you can be alone, and then you do the breathing exercises. And then in the evening, before you fall asleep, you take at least 15 to 20 minutes walk, you take a shower, you do the breathing skills before you fall asleep. It has a way of making you very calm. Thank you.
Thank you. We have our last question from Chela. She asks, what other stress management methods would you recommend as a professional?
Okay, so as I indicated, in managing stress, you have to manage your time. If you manage your time very well, and you know the things that are important and urgent, and the ones that are not important, that are not urgent, and you plan your time very well. I do planning, timetable planning with students. And by the time we are done, they get surprised at the amount of time they have on their hand, but they thought they didn't have any time at all. Planning your time. When you wake up in the morning, What do you have to do? And normally when you are doing timetable planning, I want you to figure out and plan even for recreation. Maybe you want to go to the drama studio to watch a play, plan for it. You want to go to the salon to do your hair, plan for it. Indicate all of this on your itinerary in the day, and you will be surprised the amount of time you spend alone on social media. And so let us plan our time. That helps in stress management. And number two, setting goals for ourselves also help us to manage our stress. Sometimes when we don't have goals, anybody can just use their time or their plans or the goals they have for themselves. They push us into it only for us to realize we've not achieved what we want. So planning your goal. One of the things that helps with stress management, as I indicated earlier on, it's sleep. And in some countries, they've even passed laws that children less than 18 years do not stay outside after 8 p.m. The reason is if you don't sleep well, you don't perform at your optimum. So learning to sleep is also important. And then our thought, the way we think about things. Can we look at things from a positive outlook more than negativity? What I normally would say is that try and shift your mind and consider the alternative. Maybe you feel that, oh, if I don't do this, I will become a useless person. And no, try what if the positive also happened. That way you are training the brain to also consider the positive as an option and to regulate your thinking patterns and then also regulate your emotions. It's important so that we do not become reactive all the time under stress and we just react to everything. No, some of the things you need to take a pause and then manage yourself in terms of your emotions before you deal with it. And take a break. Even in the day, during your day, some of us, when it's break time, we still want to continue with work. It doesn't help. It will make you stressed. Some of us, when we have to take our leave, when we take the leave, we don't go and rest. We take the leave to go and do other work. That is also not helpful. When it's break time, make sure you break. These simple habits can help regulate stress in a long while. But if you still do this and you are still struggling, then you might have to seek professional help. See a psychologist to help you or the school counselor to assist you in doing it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Setordzie. We are so grateful. And that brings us to the end of today's session. Tomorrow, we have our final session, same time, 3 p.m. GMT and 5 p.m. CAT. So please be on time and come show up in your numbers, come prepared. Dr. Setordzie, we are so grateful. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you too. I'm happy to be with you. Thank you. And to our Zambian partners, we used to live in Zambia as well. So it's good to see you all once again.
Oh,
thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.